It's Miz TV on Monday Night Raw, and The Miz is getting set to introduce his next guest. He says that my guest tonight says that he's the best wrestler in the world. It's arrogant. Is it true though? That's what we're going to find out right here on Miz TV. So without any more delay, my guest, Cody. The Miz is shocked. The wrestling world has been shaken to its core. Maxwell Jacob Friedman is in WWE. It was rumoured, it was thought to never be possible, but he's here. He gets in the ring and he says, "Did I hear you say best in the world? I think that's what I heard." Well, if you're saying best in the world, you have to be referring to me, right? For the first time in his career, The Miz is speechless. Cody is here and he says, "Hello, Max. It's been a while." And MJF just snaps back at him and he says, "Before you start, I've already whipped your ass, so I don't want anything to do with you. I'm here for him. All I've heard is people comparing me to him, and to be honest..." MJF then turns on Cody and low blows Cody. He then finishes what he was going to say and he says, "It's actually quite flattering to be compared to The Miz because we are better than you, and you know it." The Miz and MJF continue the beatdown on Cody Rhodes, rendering him medically suspended for the foreseeable future. The following week on Raw, MJF is with The Miz again, and MJF explains him coming to WWE is the single biggest free agent signing in the history of professional wrestling. And it was poetic that he could make his debut by putting down the roller coaster. But more so, it was fitting that he could do it next to someone the ilk of The Miz. A man that everybody has compared him to in a negative light. The Miz is the most successful guy here. He's worked his ass off. He's been in some of the best movies I've ever seen. And he's even main evented WrestleMania. The Miz is chuffed. He's over the moon. He's standing with MJF and he says, "That's right, Max. And the comparisons to you, they're so flattering to me, I can't even believe it. A prodigy like you being compared to me, well, that's just awesome." And guess what? The other awesome part about this is when I heard a whisper you were coming in and I reached out and you agreed, now I can officially announce that you are looking at the most must-see tag team in the entire industry. The Miz has dropped a bombshell. He and MJF are not only working together, but they are now officially a team. And in the next couple of weeks, The Miz and MJF get some massive wins over a couple of established teams. Now, while not all of these wins were above board, they are wins regardless. But what else would you expect from these two men? We get to a point where it's time for a number one contenders match. It's RK Bro versus The Miz and MJF, with the winner to face the Usos for the championships in just 3 days' time at Survivor Series. And it's down to Riddle and MJF, but both men are down. The Miz is stirring on the outside, and so is Randy Orton. But Orton is up first. Orton slides into the ring, but The Miz cuts him off and lands a skull-crushing finale. Miz is left in the ring, and he is being told to get out of the ring by the referee or he's going to disqualify him. But the referee is now distracted. MJF seizes the moment, and it's another low blow. Miz gets out of the ring now, knowing that the damage is done. MJF and The Miz have yet again swindled their way forward in the tag team division, and it's now time to face the Usos. And we are ready to go. Both teams are in the ring, and The Miz is set to kick things off. But MJF then enters the ring. Miz looks at him and says, "You want to kick this thing off, big man?" And MJF looks at him and says, "You're damn right I do." Now what the hell is MJF doing? The Miz is down. MJF doesn't even turn around to survey the damage. The Usos retain, and we are left with so many questions. The next night on Raw, MJF opens the show. He explains himself. He says that he wanted to see just how gullible and stupid The Miz was. He says that The Miz is soft, and he shouldn't be known as The Miz, in fact. He should be known as The Mid. I wanted to get him right where I wanted him, to embarrass him on the biggest stage possible. I wanted to embarrass him because of the embarrassment I felt being compared to someone so mediocre. It's then we see The Miz charge towards MJF, but as he slides in the ring, he gets jumped, and MJF quickly beats him down. MJF goes outside and he grabs the steel stairs. He slides them into the ring, and The Miz is down. And MJF has the stairs in his hands, and he's about to smash The Miz. Just in the nick of time, Cody is here. He comes out and he says, "Now listen, I don't like that guy as much as the next person. Don't do it. He's got a young family. Think about it, Max. Your real beef isn't with him, it's with me." MJF looks at Cody while holding the stairs. Without any hesitation, he slams the stairs into The Miz. Cody runs down, but it's too late, and MJF bails through the crowd. The whole arena is booing. They can't believe what they've just seen. MJF has stooped to an all-new low, even for him. In the next few weeks, Cody tries multiple times to get his hands on MJF, but he can't, because he keeps weaseling his way out of all of these situations. The war of words heats up too. Cody says, "I'm not supposed to talk about my former place of employment, but Max and I, we go back quite a bit. He's put me through hell, and I tell you what, I'd walk through hell again just to get one more piece of Maxwell Jacob Friedman." And MJF has a different outlook. He says he doesn't care what Vince McMahon thinks. He's the hottest thing in wrestling, and the WWE needs him more than he needs them. Just like Cody needs Maxwell Jacob Friedman to feel relevant because he didn't get that with Seth. I'm the only one who makes him relevant. And I tell you what, Cody, you want to go through hell again? You can. We've got the Royal Rumble coming up. Let's say we make you earn your shot just like old times, huh? 10 lashes, Cody, but not a strap. No. We've been there and done that, haven't we? Singapore Kane. Your father was a whipping boy here, so you can be too. And that line sends Cody over the edge. They spill out into the arena, and they are separated by WWE staff. Cody screams at him and he says, "I'll see your ass next week, and then I'll see you at the Rumble." MJF is readying up to deliver these 10 shots to Cody. But it's then we see Brandy Rhodes. She comes out on the stage and she is pleading with Cody not to go through with it. She's seen this pain before and she doesn't want to see it happen again. And MJF is in the ring and he says, "I'll give you one more chance to back out and be with your wife, Cody." Cody looks up at Brandy and then he looks back at MJF. Then he looks up at Brandy again and he says, "I have to do it." Brandy, who is oddly comfortable with the decision, just says, "Okay, no problem." Cody removes his shirt and he's ready to go. MJF is confused, but he says, "It's time to be a whipping boy just like your old man." Cody spins around though. Cody rushes MJF and takes the cane from him. He's wailing on MJF over and over and over until the cane actually breaks. Cody screams at MJF and he says, "I'm not the same man I was there. You're dealing with a nightmare now, Max, and not one that you're ever going to wake up from. You followed me here, and now I'm going to take you down." MJF squirms out of the ring and walks up the ramp saying, "No match then. There's no match. No chance. You didn't hold up your end of the deal. There's no chance this is happening." MJF is now face to face with the boss. And Vince McMahon says, "I hear you don't care what I say, huh? Well, that's real interesting. Maybe you'll care about this. Because I'm going to make that match regardless. It'll be you versus Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble. And if you think you can squirm your way out of this one, well, I say no chance in hell. And this match will be hell in a cell." The war is on. No more running away. Cody is finally getting his hands on MJF. But then MJF throws Cody through the cell wall. And now on the outside of the demonic structure, things are getting even more heated. MJF has a plan though, as always. He walks up the ramp and he comes back holding a Singapore cane. And he says once again, "It's time for you to be the whipping boy of WWE, just like your old man." MJF swings, but Cody again blocks. He takes the cane and he laces MJF with it. Then he throws it on the ground. He says to MJF, "Let's end this once and for all." Cody is on top of the cell and he's screaming at MJF, who has slowly gotten to his feet. He's screaming to MJF to finally come up here and finish it. Unbelievably, MJF obliges. The two men are slugging it out on top of the cell. Everything, all the history is built to this moment. Cody and MJF, two bitter rivals, trading shots in the most dangerous position possible. Cody goes for it. He runs at MJF, but no, MJF flings him, and Cody goes crashing through the cell all the way to the ring. Cody is motionless. Cody is out. MJF climbs through the hole. He has nothing left, and he collapses on Cody in pure exhaustion, and he scrapes through for the win.